Hello, everybody. It is I, the leader of Upstate Paranormal and Beyond, with this weirdo here.
Hi, guys.
Crystal, our wonderful historian, location expert. She got a lot of jobs.
Yeah, I have all of them. All the jobs.
You got all the jobs.
All the jobs.
This is the next episode of Paranormal TV. If you guys haven't checked out all the other episodes, go and check out 1, 2, and 3. They're amazing stories. We went into depth about the White Lady. We've already talked about Hell's Gates experiences and stuff. We're coming back to Greenlawn now because we done our monthly hunt, and we have come across some more stuff.
That hunt just happened to be on my birthday.
Yeah, that was, as you guys know, we put up some posts and stuff wishing Crystal here a happy birthday on the page and stuff. So that was, we did a hunt for that. And just so you know, we treat our members to a nice, spooky, happy birthday celebration.
No, you don't. You leave me alone in the graveyard, okay? No, you don't.
Let's not talk about that. Okay, but anyway, so we done our hunt. Actually, I'll let you lead the conversation this time. Just give me a break, because I lead the conversation in all 3 episodes so far. So you lead the conversation. You lead the story.
What are we starting with?
We can. Well, it kind of sort of kicked off the second we left you over in that one section.
Okay,
so.
yeah. So throughout the night, we had gotten glimpses of. Well, we hadn't seen the White Lady that night, which was really weird because as soon as we usually step in, like maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes later, something about her happens and goes on. And this time we didn't get anything. And so we weren't really getting much. And Josh's great idea was to take me to a lone place in the graveyard, have them sing happy birthday to me in the creepiest way possible, and then leave me alone.
You're welcome.
But as soon as I got by myself, I couldn't see their flashlights anymore and I couldn't hear them. I heard movement behind me. And I heard over our, what would we call them, our EVP?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I heard...
Well, it's kind of like a spirit box.
Yeah, kind of like a spirit box.
Mixture of EVP and spirit box.
I heard noises, and then over the spirit box, I got separated, alone, and divided. As soon as I couldn't see them anymore or hear them. So I immediately stood up and turned to face the direction where I heard the noises, and I was getting all kinds of stuff. I got axe, I got dye, I got a whole bunch of extra really creepy stuff, and I was about to get more in depth with talking to the spirit when Josh comes and walks back up to me. He says, "Well, I was gonna leave you here longer, but something's happened at the car." So I walk over to the car, and I see Callie. She's not moving, which if you know Callie is really weird. She's always moving around a little bit.
By the way, she is here. She's off camera.
Stuffing her face with sunflower seeds.
See, the hunt that night took place. It was me, Crystal, Callie, Colby, Taylor, and Matt. So there was 6 of us there that night, and Callie and Colby were the 2 that was mainly affected, so they really didn't know.
They don't know what happened.
What happened, more say, which we'll get into why they don't know what happened
in just a second.
But basically, that's why it's just us telling the story, because we're the ones that had to deal with it, and boy, was it hectic that night. Oh yeah. So yeah, but sort of kind of throwing in just a little bit from my part. When we left her and when I left her with the team and we got back over to the car, Callie was fine. And then I walked off to go and get her. And that's where it picked up from where I walked over to her. So now
yeah, that's right. Callie was fine, and then we were about ready to get back in the car and leave because we weren't really picking up anything. But oh boy, were we wrong. And then all of a sudden Callie couldn't move. She felt like her legs were planted to the ground. Like, I even tried to pull her, and it's like her body moved, but her feet stayed. Me and Josh tried to pick her up. Well, Josh effectively picked her up and
Pretty
got
much.
her in the car.
I yeeted her over my shoulder.
Yeah, just straight up like firemen's
Just put
carry
her-
over the shoulder.
Yep.
But at that point, Colby started acting weird. He was sitting in his car already, and I noticed a blank expression on his face.
For those of you guys, I don't remember if I mentioned it in episode 3 or not, but if we haven't, we'll cover it later because I don't have the means right now to watch back over it. But Colby has been affected in Greenlawn before also. I don't recall if it's been mentioned before or not, but he's been messed with there, and you guys know of the Hell's Gate story. So it was pretty bad.
Me and Matt, we noticed Colby just staring out the window of the Jeep, just staring. And we went over there and tried to talk to him. Nothing was going on. And I realized he was looking at a certain part of the cemetery where it's the tree. Where I'm pretty sure we mentioned it in the first episode about the white lady.
Yeah. This story is connected sort of to the white lady. So.
The tree where if you stare at it too long, the white lady starts to mess with you or possess you or something like that. I'm not sure the full exact story. But he was staring that direction, and I told Matt and Taylor, I was like, is there something in your car that we can block the window so that way we can at least break his field of vision? Mm-hmm. We put a blanket over his window, and he still kept staring in that direction, like he could see straight through the blanket, which he couldn't because I stood on the other side.
He wasn't staring at anything in particular. He was just staring the direction of the tree pretty much.
And then Callie started acting weird. I got a very angry vibe from Colby at that point in time. I felt anger and fear.
And witnessing what had happened with him before being possessed and stuff, I almost instantaneously kind of had a relapse back to what happened at Hell's Gates.
And you kind of freaked a little bit.
And I kind of freaked out a little bit too. I was like, yeah, I gave her that look like it's not good. It's not good at all.
And then Callie started acting weird. Mm-hmm. Started acting not like herself. She turned pale. And, she was sitting still like she was frozen. And that's when I called Josh over there to talk to Callie. And I switched with Josh and took over Colby because I could tell Josh was freaking out.
Which we immediately suggested and thought that it was something with the white lady with Callie. Because, I don't know what the white lady's obsession is with Callie, but as we've mentioned before. But that's the first thought that come to our mind because that's the only entity really that we've ever come across that seems to always bother Callie. Mm-hmm. Scratching her, letting her see her, singing to her, all that kind of stuff. Usually that's the go-to for that. So we thought that was her. So we thought we was with a lose-lose situation. It's like something bad for Colby and something bad for her.
Which turned out was not the deal at all.
For Callie, at least.
Well, it was for Colby, but we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
But Colby, I was trying to get Colby's attention, and he looked at me, and he was just angry. And I've never seen so much anger in somebody's eyes. And then I finally got him to look at me, and he had tears in his eyes. And he started smiling at me and laughing, like an eerie smile. And I knew at that point that something dark was in him. Mm-hmm. So I told Matt and Taylor to step aside to move because I didn't want Matt and Taylor to get hurt or affected in any kind of way. Because Taylor is, of course, Colby's better half. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want her to get herself in a situation she could get hurt or have her see more than she probably should have seen. So I asked them both to step aside, me and Josh both. Mm-hmm. And so we tried to take care of it. So I stood with Colby for a while and made sure that he was okay. And then Josh went to Callie, and that's when we started getting things from the spirit inside of Callie because she was possessed at that point. Mm-hmm. And the spirit that was in Callie would not talk to me. It was afraid of me for some reason.
Yep.
Well, actually, no. She told me. I reminded her of her daughter's friend that hung herself, right? Was that what it was?
You're asking the one that doesn't remember anything?
Was that what?
I think. I don't remember.
It was either her daughter hung herself?
Something about her daughter, her daughter's friend that killed... Something happened to her and she passed away. I know that.
Yeah, and I reminded them.
Never found out if it was a good thing or a bad thing about that friend,
But after a while, she started talking to me, and we got that figured out, and that's the side that Josh will tell you about. But we got across that her name, that the spirit inside of Callie's name was Delilah. Mm-hmm. And I was asking Delilah a series of questions, like, when was the last year that you remember? And she said the last time she had any contact with anybody was in 2000. And I asked, what was the last year you remember before passing away? I was told 1962. So, for that period of time, somebody looking for somebody and something, whether they know their spirit are real or not, is traumatizing. And yep. I asked Delilah what was going on with Colby, and because she seemed to know more than she was letting on at first. And what Delilah described to me was that Colby was possessed by the Dark Man, is what she called him. And the story that Delilah told me was that this man entered the cemetery and pretty much killed his entire family. It was out of insanity or something like that, but that's what Delilah said to me. And I asked Delilah, what's the white lady doing? And the white lady was trying to help get the Dark Man out of Colby.
Which is kind of also one of the few things that we learned about the white lady, because we had no clue nothing about her. And apparently, according to Delilah, the white lady can be good or bad. Is something else that she actually informed us, which doesn't make sense, but does make sense at the same time. So, I mean, I guess it's more or less a win-win situation. You got to hope for the good when it comes to the white lady. It still doesn't explain why the white lady has scratched Callie before. Mm-hmm. So. But
also, now that we know that there's the black man, the Dark Man in there, that could have been him as well.
Yeah.
But, I later asked Colby, this jumps back to after everything is over. This is the last piece of information that I'll have before I let Josh carry on to the next one. As I asked Colby how he was feeling. And he told me, he said it felt like there was a light and a dark, and then himself. Like he had three individuals in him. A dark trying to take over him, a light trying to help him, and then it was just him. And that goes along with what the spirit inside of Callie Delilah was telling me, was the white lady was trying to help Colby get the Dark Man out. Mm-hmm. Because Colby wasn't back to himself yet when Delilah told me this information. And then afterwards, after we knew Colby was okay and Callie was okay, I asked Colby how he felt, and that's what he told me. And it all, like, it's kind of one of those harsh moments of realization that it's like, that's terrifying. Like, that you, one, you actually talk to a spirit, and two, like, another person is actually feeling what they're telling you. Yep. It's a harsh moment of terror and fear that, like, that could happen to me. Like, this actually happened. This isn't just something you see on TV anymore. This is actually happening.
And we did go through a series of different tests and stuff to assure that this, of course, it wasn't faked or anything. We went through a series of tests and looking into making sure they really were, which we trust all of our team members and stuff too, so we know this wasn't fake. But there was a couple of kind of key points and pointers that kind of assured to us that they really and truly were possessed. For one, the fact that Colby was acting weird, like staring off into space and stuff. And just knowing him personally, because one of the incidents was he began to literally headbang himself into his steering wheel.
That was the scariest thing, because I was standing outside and he just started banging his head against the steering wheel.
Colby, what person would? I mean, yeah, there's people out there that has depression problems and stuff, and not talking down upon them, but there's people that does self-harm and stuff. But Colby seemed to be in rather a good point in mental state to where he wasn't going to cause any harm to himself. And then out of the blue, just started headbanging the hell out of the steering wheel. And crying with tears in his eyes, just staring off into space, zoning out and stuff like that.
And laughing.
And laughing very like...
When we read the verse that's supposed to help with possessions, he started laughing.
Psalms 91, we began to recite over and over, and he just basically was mimicking what we were doing through laughter, more or less.
He was like, you don't have to read that. Like, I'm fine. Everything like that, just laughing it off.
Yeah.
While they were going through the last stages of him being not possessed anymore.
Pretty much. And eye dilation, back and forth, to and from, constantly was one of the sure signs for Callie being possessed too. And just me personally knowing her and knowing her actions and knowing the way she speaks, acts, and the maneuvers and mannerisms and stuff of her is just completely changed. So it was common sense to us that that wasn't Callie and Colby. Neither one of the two of them.
I don't even know Colby that well, honestly, and I knew that something was up.
Yeah, pretty much. Which earlier in the day that day, Colby was going through some rough patches, but he kind of regathered himself as he came out to the hunt that night. But more or less getting into my part of everything, the short conversation that I had with the spirit that was in Cali, which Delilah, we had found out that Delilah also had a daughter by the name of Sarah, I believe it was. And she basically was lost. She was separated from her daughter and she was trying to find her. And I made a pact to her basically promising that we would search and find her daughter wherever she was. Of course, asking questions, where was she, what was the last time that she seen her, how did she die, how old was she, name, all that kind of stuff, trying to figure out as much information as possible so we could find the daughter. And then Crystal comes and tells me one point that Delilah wants to talk to me, and she basically requests for me to help her cross over. She basically seeks my help to help her cross over, and she wishes to go to the tree and wishes to basically just be set free, more or less. And we all proceed over, well, me, Crystal, and Callie proceed over to, well, Delilah at that time, proceed over to the tree, and she basically recapped. She remembered that her and her daughter had gotten into an accident and killed them both. And her daughter basically, I guess, wandered off as they was separated or whatever due to the crash, and she had never been able to find her. And I promised that if I was to ever find her, that I would help her cross over. And basically led her over, and she crossed to the other side, which is a very... For spirits to come to me, I've done this about 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4 different times, leading spirits across the other side. That right there, in itself, is a different experience. Just going out ghost hunting and doing stuff like that is one thing, but when it comes down to a spirit looking to you and saying, hey, I need help crossing over, that's a complete different experience itself. Having a spirit come to you with enough trust and seeking for you specifically to lead them across the other side, that is almost like a bonding experience for spirits almost itself. It's a good feeling, but yet at the same time, I won't lie, when I'm doing it, I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm terrified if something was to go wrong, or if I was to piss off a spirit that's there that doesn't want that one to cross.
Or it transferred to somebody else.
Or something bad like that happened. There's all kinds of different things that comes with that. But we helped her cross over, and about a couple of days or so after that, Callie was filled in some of the information that had happened. And I don't remember if we did a ride-through or something, but we did. It was me, Callie, Colby, and Taylor. We had rode through, and Callie had visions and stuff and was given dreams out of the blue of going back to Greenlawn, going to a complete different tree and doing weird stuff to it. And we went and she mimicked that dream, and we found the daughter. I don't remember if we told you that. We found the daughter. The daughter basically, I guess, was scared and was hiding in the cemetery and knew that there was a connection to a tree, because Delilah had the connection to that specific tree where we let her cross over, because she was buried there. And when she was buried there, I guess it's been so long ago, so many years ago, that they removed the tombstones and stuff. So basically, she become an unmarked. So the daughter was more or less looking for her unmarked mother's grave and couldn't find it. Well, we went. She had these dreams and stuff. We went to the exact location in her dream, found the daughter, and then the daughter proceeded to follow us back here, and warned us that the spirit that has been here in the house, that is connected to us, that we've thought was an elder demon for a long time, was actually the man from the cemetery.
The dark man?
Mm-hmm. Because she asked to talk to my mom, and the elder demon is connected to my mom, and Sarah actually talked with my mom and basically found out, long story short, that it was not an elder demon. It was just this man. What he has against us or anything, I don't know. It could be just the simple fact that we go to Greenlawn a lot, and he recognizes us and just wants us to basically suffer.
We always talk about, every time we go in, before we do, we pray and we have a meeting. We talk about how we're a family.
Mm-hmm.
He did take his family in there.
True. But in the end, long story short, I helped Sarah cross over as well. But that's one of the, and it's sort of kind of connected to the White Lady, not much, but a little bit. The White Lady was thrown in there just a smidge because she was basically, we was told that she's good and bad. Other than that, the White Lady really, as I remember, wasn't really brought into the story.
Except for while she was supposedly helping Colby.
And we'll get Colby into one of our videos and stuff and do kind of like almost like a part 2 to this video.
See what Callie and Colby actually remember.
And basically, they will be the ones recording the episode. Neither one of us will probably be in that episode, but we'll get them in and let them tell their side of what they know happened, which would be kind of hard because they probably don't know much. But they only know more or less what we told them. But they can tell how they felt and all that stuff and lead up to. We're going to take a brief moment here for this episode to talk a little bit about, well, of course, this is going to be coming out the day after the open hunt. So we're going to take this time now and let you guys know a little bit of the next open hunt, which will be taking place November 13th of this year. So you guys can look forward to that coming towards the end of the year. There again, it is open for all ages. I think it's listed on there 13 plus. You got to have parent permission between 13 and 18. Mm-hmm. Also, you have to have your own transportation and stuff like that. And 18 plus, you can come. Basically, you don't have to have permission or anything. There's rules and stuff that'll be laid out. There's some stuff that we'll probably post up pictures and stuff a couple days from when this goes up that you guys will be able to see from our open hunt that just passed. Recording in the, just kind of weird, but yesterday when you guys are watching this would have been the second open hunt that we've done. So all the stuff that happened then, the pictures and stuff that we took will be uploaded within the next couple of days. And then the following next episode of Paranormal TV will be taking place on the 28th of this month, which is our 5th episode. We're running 10 episodes for this. This will be season 1. We'll do them by seasons, almost like a TV show.
I can't believe we've done 5 episodes already. We're about to have 5 episodes already.
Also, something I wanted to talk about is we're in the process of working on getting some merchandise and stuff up for you guys. If you're big fans of us, we're working on getting some merch and stuff for you guys to purchase on our website, which our website is still underway. We're working really hard, which, as you guys may or may not know, of course, she has a job outside of this, and me and Callie does professional performing. We're professional entertainers and stuff, so we've got that going for us. So we're really busy from time to time, but we're working on getting the website and stuff squared away. Is there any last remarks, words, or anything?
Are we still doing for the first little while donations for merchandise, like the first, like some shirts to build up?
We can, yeah. We could do if you guys wanted to. What we can do, we'll work on getting something out there where you guys can donate to us to help us.
Kind of like donate a few dollars, get a shirt.
Donate a few dollars, get a shirt. With the money, it'll go to getting a shirt and stuff. It'll also help us start getting the merchandise and stuff lined up and ready to where people can actually buy. The donations and stuff, just letting everybody know, The donations that will be given to us will be going straight back into merchandise for you. It's not for us. It's for us to make it, to get it to you guys. Basically, the merchandise stuff is something we're testing. So we'll get the information and stuff out there as soon as possible about that so you guys will know more. But this donating money and stuff will be helping us get merchandise for you guys to test run it to see how well it goes if you guys really want merch or anything like that. So just basically be on the lookout for that coming very soon. We have other episodes and stuff coming in the near future. We plan a good 3, 4, 5 seasons of this because we have lots of stories. Tons of stories.
And then we'll continue to have more stories as the time goes.
Yep, as the time goes, we'll have more stories. Plus, you guys can also look forward to, which we're getting it set up right now as we speak, we're going to be getting into where you guys can actually see, instead of just hearing the stories, you actually can see some of our adventures and stuff. We're working on getting like body cams and stuff like that, where you guys can actually see what happens when we go out instead of just hearing our story. But throughout all of our hunts and stuff, we still are planning to do open hunts for everybody that are interested in coming in. And there again, remember to mark your calendars because that is November 13th. There's no set time or any other information, but it will be posted up as soon as possible, as soon as we get all the information and stuff worked out. But with that being said,
and as always for every video, if you plan on doing this on your own, just be safe.
Yeah.
Never go alone. Well protected. Make sure wherever you go, you're allowed to be there.
Yeah.
So just be safe. Be aware of your surroundings. Mm-hmm. And just be careful.
That could be our outro, I suppose, for these episodes. Just stay safe. Stay happy. We'll come up with an outro.
We'll get there eventually. We promise.
We're 4 episodes. This 4th episode, so we're 4 episodes in. We don't even have an outro yet. We don't even have a proper intro. We're working on it.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We'll get there.
But you guys give us feedback too. If you have any ideas or anything, or any suggestions or ideas or anything that you want to suggest to us, feel free to message us. We're completely down. We are 100% always open to chat with anybody if you guys message us.
Even if you don't get us on the UPMB site, there's all of our individuals.
Yes. And you guys are more than welcome to send friend requests, send us messages, ask us anything you guys want. We're more than welcome to answer any questions or anything. And we are still taking in just a few more members. Just a few, not a lot. So if you want a spot in the team before we close it down where you can't join, I'd be hitting us up if you're interested. So, with that being said, stay safe.
Be careful.
Be careful, stay safe.
Do it legally. Scratch that. Don't listen to me. Do it within the law.
Yes, stay within the law. Whatever.
You mean just abide by the law?
Abide by
That's
the law.
the one.
That's the word.
Now we hear from Callie.
I don't have
Told you she was
seeds.
here. Told you she was here.
I don't have sunflower seeds in my mouth. I can't speak.
So yeah, keep a check on here. The merchandise and stuff like that will be available soon as we can get it up. So yeah. With that being said, draw in closer. We got to do our close outro.
Bye.
And Callie's hand on my face. Later.